let's get this going the best way possible with Zack Martin. It states that the superstar, he's not done yet, And the thing is with him, of course, he had a down season, and it looked very bad. And it could be a situation and scenario that the Cowboys may consider keeping him or moving on from him. That's been the storyline. But by having those reservations, let's listen to what Zack Martin had to say with DLL Media.
After my life looks like, whether that be playing football here in Dallas, playing football somewhere else, retiring, whatever that may be. Right now I'm focused on getting healthy, seeing how I feel with this ankle kind of repaired, whether or not, I'm going to go out and try to go again.
Do you think about the Hall of Fame?
Not really, no. I think I've done a nice job in my career to really focus on what I was doing at that time throughout my career, and that's what I'm trying to do now. It's still trying to figure out just kind of what the next chapter of my life looks like, whether that be playing football here in Dallas, playing football somewhere else, retiring, whatever that may be. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
So he's trying to figure out things, and here's how this goes. Zack Martin, he's a gold jacket guy. Look, you don't have to take my word for it. Just wait 5 years after he retired. But it's all about getting something back in return. And I'm with the belief if the Cowboys really want something back in return, it's a crazy way to do it. It's a crazy way to do it, and I'm hesitant to say this, but how about you trade Zack Martin for Myles Garrett, right? You throw in a draft pick, and maybe you can say, if a sweetener, we can also give away Trayvon Diggs. Now, I'm not saying that this would be a situation, and I hope that you guys are not thinking that I'm name dropping for an intention here, but at some point, it got to be a soul for a soul, right? And we talking about a guy that's 29 years of age, Myles Garrett, and I know he got a big chunk of a contract that's due as well, and you looking at it like this. For things in life that are nice, you got to pay for them, You can't go to Belize for free. You can't go to the Cayman Islands for free. You got to pay for it to get to those locations, right? If it costs to go to vacations, it's going to cost for you to have good situations. That's all I'm saying. So if it's a situation that Zack Martin, if you want to utilize and use one little Hail Mary for this organization and franchise, you can do that. Now, granted, there will be feelings crossed. There will be things that people will say, hey, man, he's a Hall of Famer. Why would you treat one of your best like that? Well, come to find out, Tyron Smith, they let go, right? Dez Bryant, they let go. DeMarcus Ware, they let go. DeMarco Murray, they let go. Tony Romo, of course, he was forced to let go due to injuries and things like that. All I'm saying is you got to get something back in return, and doing that would be the best way possible. Eddie DeBarlo, the owner for the 49ers way back in the days, told Jerry, do not get personal with your players. You got to treat them as businesses. You know what I'm saying? And Jerry, he get personal with these guys. He hold on to them till there's no more value. And then he decide to let them go, or they get from this team, and maybe we get some comp picks and things like that. But what I'm saying, if a person thinking about retirement, this is the Bill Parcells that said this, the quote, if you're thinking about retirement, you already retired, right? So if he's wondering whether or not to retire, or he's going to come back here or somewhere else, then see what you can get the max capabilities from him. And now, granted, y'all know Zack Martin, my guy, and I would love for him to be here. But also the Cowboys got to get crafty in their designs to figure out how to add more and more weapons and more pieces here. That's all I'm saying. But let me know how you guys feel of that. And on the other news, this guy, Cooper Kupp, we did some research. Jake Kupp, the grandfather of Cooper Kupp, played for the Cowboys, right? Let's keep that legacy going, by the way. The Rams are willing to eat a chunk of the wide receiver's Cooper Kupp's salary to help facilitate a trade per rap sheet. Now, the Cowboys, we've been throwing away fourth-round draft picks for a while, but I can tell you Cooper Kupp, even at the age of about to be 32, he is better than Jalen Brooks. He is better than Jonathan Mingo. He is better than Jalen Tolbert, all of the Jalens, Monroe, and all of those guys that's here. I would say you can entertain this. You can look into this and say, hey, in any given Sunday, if you had choices of guarding Kupp versus Brooks versus Tolbert versus Mingo versus any of the wide receivers that we have now, you will be more inclined to warrant attention Kupp's way, right? And I'm not going to throw in Brandon Cooks. Shout out to him. But he's 5'9", 5'10", right? And there are certain things you can do to, defeat him on certain routes. And I'm not finna get into the small nuances. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Kupp would be the world beater here or he would be trash or dog water. But what I'm saying is, if you look at the complete picture, CeeDee Lamb, the ability to get the attention and warrant the respect out there on the field with two-way goals, this would be a great pickup for the Cowboys, and this would not hinder you from going into this draft and still with the ability to draft another wide receiver. This would make ultimate sense, ladies and gentlemen, to go out there and grab a Cooper Kupp. Why, Law? Why? Because I've been saying this for a long time, and I want to apply this notion to you all that's listening. You do not want to go into this draft on an empty stomach. You want something on it, right? Just like you do not want to go shopping on an empty stomach. You want something on it, right? Because who's out there, whoever went shopping on an empty stomach, and you come back with items that you don't supposed to have, right? You're on your fifth diet, but you still got a box of donuts, and I'm gonna try this one more sets of donuts, right? Because you don't need those things. And when you go into a draft, you don't want to operate out of need. You want to operate out of best player available. So hopefully the Cowboys can entertain this. Or if not, Kupp can find himself in Chief Kingdom, right? Or Eagles land or whoever, those teams that have been known to be aggressive in the trade acquisition or the free agency, right? I would behoove the Cowboys to at least entertain this. They said that they would take a chunk of the money. Why not? Why not bring that to the table and then still go into the draft not on an empty stomach, And that's what we want this organization and franchise to do. Measure twice, cut once, bring someone in, and with pedigree and with respect. And keep in mind, for references, when Terrell Owens got to the star many moons ago, he was 32 as well. So, and I'm not saying that Cooper Kupp would bring you Terrell Owens type of production. But what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is that this could be a very much so thing to have here with the silver and blue, a kind of caliber of a Cooper Kupp. So by them willing to do that, let's figure it out. And I don't look at Kupp being such a bad deal, whereas they are willing to eat some of the money to get him out. I think that ultimately they are paying some of the respect for Cooper Kupp, and they are willing to meet someone where they are at as far as the organizations. And that's a real good thing. More and more teams need to be practicing this bipartisan approach and seeing and hearing each other out and saying, okay, you do a little for me and I do a little for you. Let's work a deal out. Let's not be all Luka to the Lakers type of move like a Nico, you know what I'm saying, over there in Mavs world, But I think that these things can work for the Cowboys if we roll up our sleeve and say, hey, we trying to better our team. We know that you trying to better your team, where we can meet at the middle. Now, the whole thing, just to rehash what I'm saying with Zack Martin, I want him to be here, but ultimately I do want to see us get something back in return. Not just him being here as a placeholder or in the way. By the way, post me your thoughts. Post me your concerns down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the Bass. Go Cowboys. Let's get it. Peace.